Struggling single dad was late to the job fair. She turned and said, "I've been waiting since 2009. The rain came down in steady sheets as Marcus gripped his daughter's tiny hand and sprinted across the crowded sidewalk, dodging umbrellas and puddles alike. His worn sneakers squished with every step, soaked from the downpour that hadn't let up all morning. With his other hand, he clutched a folder of resumes, creased, a little damp at the corners, but still legible. He was late. Again. "Daddy, are we gonna miss it?" Ella asked, her voice small under the storm. Marcus gave her a strained smile. "Not if I can help it, baby girl." It wasn't just a job fair. It was the job fair. Dozens of companies, hundreds of openings, and his last real shot at getting off night shifts at the warehouse, at keeping their apartment, at proving to himself he could still build something stable after everything had fallen apart. 3 years ago, he never imagined raising Ella on his own. Her mother had left when things got tough, when Marcus lost his job, when the bills piled up, when hope started feeling like a luxury. But Marcus stayed. He worked odd jobs, skipped meals so Ella wouldn't have to, and taught himself how to braid her hair before kindergarten. The clock read 1:12 p.m. when they finally reached the community center, where the fair was being held. The flyer had said it ran from 9 to 1. His heart sank. The parking lot was mostly empty now, just a few cars and one bus idling nearby. The front doors were open, but the bustle was gone. Tables were being packed up. Signs were coming down. He stepped inside anyway, Ella's soaked jacket dripping onto the linoleum floor. A woman with a clipboard looked up from near the door and shook her head with sympathy. "I'm sorry," she said gently. "They've just finished packing up." Marcus closed his eyes for a moment and inhaled sharply. He didn't know whether to scream or cry. "I had to take my daughter to school. Then the bus was late." Then, he stopped himself. Excuses didn't matter. Not here. Another woman, an older woman with silver streaks in her hair and a badge that read Gloria, Workforce Development, was folding a tablecloth nearby. She glanced at Marcus, then did a double take. "Excuse me," she said, walking over slowly. "Did you say your name is Marcus?" He nodded cautiously. She squinted, studying his face like trying to remember a dream from long ago. "Were you at the fair in 2009? Here, this same center?" His brow furrowed. "Yeah. That was right after I graduated. I came with my brother, but I didn't get anything back then." Her lips curled into a soft smile. "I remember you. You helped me carry chairs back to my car that year. You were polite. Nervous. Said you wanted to be a teacher one day." He let out a dry laugh. "That feels like a lifetime ago. I told you to come see me before you left, but you disappeared. My mom had called. She needed help that day. I didn't get to follow up with anyone. I waited," she said, voice softer now. "I kept your resume. It sat in my office for years until it yellowed. I always wondered if you'd come back." Marcus blinked, overwhelmed. "You remembered me? I've met thousands of people. But some stay with you." Ella tugged at his arm. "Daddy, who is she?" Gloria smiled warmly at the little girl. "I'm someone who's been waiting to help your dad for a very long time." The next few minutes blurred into motion. Gloria waved over a younger man, Jason, her assistant, who quickly unpacked a box he hadn't yet loaded into his van. They set up a chair for Marcus, handed him a bottle of water, and began going over his resume. Right there, in the middle of a half-empty hall, they listened. Not just to his qualifications, but to his story. Jason looked impressed. "You kept working through all that? Raising your daughter, night shifts, and still helping at the local rec center?" Marcus shrugged. "You do what you have to. We've got a partner organization looking for someone just like you," Jason said. "A youth program coordinator. Flexible hours. Good benefits. Marcus stared. Is this real? Very real, Gloria said, her voice a bomb. And I've still got your old resume. You were ready then, you're more than ready now. As the papers changed hands and a meeting was set for the following Monday, Marcus felt something he hadn't let himself feel in years: relief. Not the temporary kind, like when rent got paid on time, but the deep, soul-sighing kind that said maybe, just maybe, things were about to change. Before they left, Gloria bent down to Ella's level and handed her a small pin from her jacket. It read, "Kindness matters. This is for your daddy," she said. "But I think you'll make sure he doesn't lose it." Ella nodded solemnly, gripping the pin like treasure. They stepped back into the drizzle, but it felt warmer now, almost gentle. Marcus knelt beside Ella, tears mixing with the rain. "I almost didn't come today," he whispered. "But you did," she said, her small arms wrapping around his neck. On Monday, Marcus wore his only suit, pressed the best he could, and walked into that interview with his head held higher than it had been in years. He got the job. 3 months later, he stood in front of a group of teens at the rec center, now their mentor, their coach, and their reminder that someone believed in them. He talked about resilience. About doing the right thing even when no one's watching. About how some strangers become angels in disguise. At the back of the room, Gloria watched with quiet pride. She turned to Jason and said, "You know, it's not about saving everyone. It's about being ready when the one who needs saving finally walks through the door." Jason nodded. "You waited 16 years. She smiled. "Some people are worth the wait." The end. Message. No matter how late you are or how many times life knocks you down, there's always someone willing to believe in you. Kindness is never wasted. Sometimes, it waits patiently in the background, ready to change everything when you least expect it.